Hello and welcome to the Jade Rat. It's me, Jaya, and today I'm doing something different. I won't be doing a art video today. I'm actually doing a book review for Morte D'Arthur. I might say that wrong and I might butcher some of the names in this because of my Australian accent, so I'm sorry. But this book has been only reviewed once, I believe, on YouTube, and the other two that were available were sort of cover reviews. So I just finished the first volume. There's a second volume also available, and I haven't read that one yet. But if I was to put it simply and really quickly, I'd give it a 75%, because it's an exciting book. It has all of your key characters: King Arthur, Lancelot, Guinevere, Sir Tristan, and Isolde, or Isolde, as it's spelled in the book. And it's a great read. The only thing that is a bit harder to get through is the language. And this is written in this sort of old school, I believe it's Middle English, and it's a bit of a chore to get through, but once you get used to it, it gets really interesting, and it's quite funny, sort of in the way that Don Quixote is kind of funny, because it's got this sort of unnecessary extra Looney Tunes style violence, and it's really good, and I would recommend it if you're into medieval history, knights, chivalry, romance. It's sort of a great book for that. And it's also one of the oldest and one of the first, and that's why it's a bit of a tough read to get through. This actually took me on and off about 4 months, simply because I'd just read a page or two and then I'd have to take a break because the chapters are really short, and you know, that's how it went. It was very short, sharp, it'd cut scenes ago. Now we're moving on to this story. Now we're moving here. Now we're going to leave that for a second. And that sort of style, it's very reminiscent of Game of Thrones, actually, where different chapters sort of focus on different characters and different storylines. And then they pick up where they left off. Sort of like the same way as if a person was telling the story, but it's good. I actually got into these books due to an inherent love of fantasy, Lord of the Rings, and I read Beowulf and the Mabinogion before that, and it's interesting because these sort of classical medieval books, they don't get featured much in YouTube, and I thought I'd really give a review for it. It's good. It's a bit repetitive, and the one other review on YouTube that I saw of this book also said that it was there's a lot of fighting and jousting and essentially tournaments and worshipful, and that was one thing that I noticed. It really deals with these ideas of chivalry and nobility, and if there's a damsel in distress, which is where the trope comes from, to help them out. And it's really interesting to see, and I would recommend it if you're a fan of this. I actually got really into Arthurian stories after watching BBC's Merlin, and it's a bit similar but also very different, and I like it. It's interesting. There are a couple of themes that are a bit 50-50 that will result in me taking some marks off. But in all up, I really enjoyed it. It's quite funny, especially when they argue about who's the best lady, and you're like, why? Why do you need to unnecessarily fight over who's the best queen? And then yeah, but it's great fun, and I would recommend it. Hello. Welcome to my face.